Hello, and welcome to the Making of a Female CEO. We have a special guest today, Sylvia Chavez, also known as America's Love Queen. There's so many highlights to go over with her, and I can't wait to dig in, but let's tell you a little bit about her. She's an author of 131 Keys to Love, a columnist for Life by Design magazine, and she's a co-author of a best-selling book called Thoughts, who's also written by Mel Andre. She's also in the podcast, Let's Talk About Love, and a keynote speaker and an expert panelist. She teaches women all over the world who find themselves stuck in the same pattern of unhealthy relationships and broken hearts. And she has them apply her system, which is called HER, H-E-R, how to heal their hearts, and empowers them and redesigns the love that they want so they can live and love deeply and be deeply loved and adored to live the extraordinary love story that they're meant to have when settling is not an option. Sylvia, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. This is so awesome being with you and, let's talk raw conversations. I love this idea of having a raw conversation with another powerful woman.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So one thing to set up is this channel is for all the women out there that are in the dirt, already in the arena, or who are looking at and thinking about getting in the arena of entrepreneurism. And what is it like? Like just having a real, honest, raw conversation. Like there are so many things that happened before we even started this. We don't have a production crew behind us. Our camera crew or makeup or all that stuff. And we were having to deal with and switch our technologies on the fly. And that's really what we're here to talk about. So I just kind of want to set the pace and tone so that women understand that right now, most of us look at what's called an Instagram ready CEO, where everything's perfect and we only see the accomplishments and that life that is being portrayed on social media. And you and I know that there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes, so many more tears and that noise and that radio, the channel that we'll talk about that comes in your head and all the other things. So I just wanted to, and everybody's kind of heard your story in other places because you're a speaker. If you want to talk briefly about it, because what we really want to look at is what's not said in those other beautiful talks that you give and all that other stuff. But if you want to give a little bit of backstory, and then we'll jump into, what are those moments that have brought you to your knees and how did you get through them?
Oof, yes. Well, it's my story is like, unfortunately, it's one too many, right? I was abused when I was 7 years old. And from that, my whole life changed. And everything that I did and I felt and I wanted to dream about had to do with that moment. And, it's like, unfortunately, like we say, 3 out of 5 women are abused before the age of 18, and those are the ones that are reporting those. So, and that really changed my life. And for many, many, many years, I was in the settling place without even knowing I was there. I was married, I was unhappy, I have kids. It's the whole story, especially for a Latina woman, that you gotta get married and have kids. But one day, my heart, my soul started asking for something else. And that's when I became a love coach or a seeker for the love that I really felt that I deserve and I wanted to have. And so I'm here. I found the love of my life. I have 5 kids, 3 grandkids. I'm super happy. My life is beautiful. And I'm a CEO of my company. This is what we are going to talk about. But everything started that day when I was 7, and it took me where I am right now. So this is a very short story, pretty short, because there's so many other avenues that I went through. But basically, this is the beginning of what took me right here, where I am right now. I can't hear you.
Thank you. See, another one of those technical difficulties, and that's teamwork. So Absolutely. You had so many incredible accomplishments in your life. And the thing that's really interesting is when people talk about or talk with men CEOs, one thing they don't really talk about is like, you had a family while you were doing all that. Like that doesn't even really get discussed. But with women, it's a big, huge deal. And we know that because while we're still running companies, unless you've got an army of house helpers. You're running
Yes.
that empire as well too. So I just want to acknowledge you for having an incredible, loving, like passionate marriage that is storybook quality and is really like just the epitome of what you have help other women create. And
Yeah.
you're raising kids, like you've got children as well. So,
Yes. 5.
so let's talk about on that journey because you made a shift. Like, were you always an entrepreneur?
No, no, no. When I got divorced, I had no money. At the beginning of my divorce, I had no money. There was no arrangement for the divorce yet, and you know how it works, unfortunately. And honestly, I didn't have even the money to feed my kids. And at the moment, I had 4. So I started looking for ways out to make money, to make some money, and I was not used because I was for many years the lady in the house, just raising my kids. And by that time, I was almost having my degree on counseling, so I already had started that seeking inside and trying to find this power, because we women are so powerful. I heard so many stories. We are so powerful. So I believe now that everything that happened in my life, it was perfect, because that gave me all this courage to start something on my own. I didn't want to be an employee. I wanted to be independent. I had too many kids to be 9 to 5 out of the house. So I started seeking. I started with MLM and then another MLM. And then I say, no, 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 I want to work for me, my story. And, and I heard so many stories about other women that went through what I went through. And that was my call. It's just working on love. And I remember the day that I got the message, you gotta be love, the word love, become love. So yeah, that's
And what an inspiration, because you had a marriage and it didn't work, and then you just worked through those things and then gifted while you were working through that, you gifted that to other women to help them along their journey. And that's just it's a heartfelt thing to do that, and to have somebody, because there's a lot of women that could be in that position, whether they've had a marriage that didn't work or they've never even been married, like myself, right?
yeah,
Like I've got
absolutely.
relationships that haven't worked, and to still be able to work all that out and be able to be like, yeah, like I can get back in there because love is worth it and all of this stuff.
Absolutely.
So now
Absolutely.
you're on this path and you're up there and you've got all these kids and you now, so tell us about like the real thing, like what is it like, because you don't just jump into being a cessation overnight, have a best-selling book and have all these platforms and speaking gigs. Like that doesn't happen overnight. So
No, absolutely
share a
not.
little bit about some of the moments where just brought you to your knees and what you did
Yeah,
to get through them.
I still feel that I still have some moments that bring me to my knees. I mean, this is life, and there's moments where and something that we women do very well is not acknowledging ourselves and our wins. I'm one of them. So I'm always in the let's do, what's next? And now I'm learning at 60 to stop, and embrace everything that I've done. You're telling me that, and my mind says, yes, yes, now. But before I was like, no, no, there's more to do. There's more to do. So there were many moments when things didn't work out, when I didn't have any money, and when I used all my money maybe to do something on my business, and then I didn't have the return because I didn't know what to do. And this was like a path of learning, making mistakes, maybe some wins, and learning and learning, and then the wins. But it's like they say, in an entrepreneur's path is like a roller coaster, and and it's a lonely path if you're alone. Now I have my husband. He really helps me in everything. We even have talks. Okay, I gotta do this video. Let's talk about it, and we just brainstorm together, and then I got more clarity. So uh, but it was really many moments when I felt that I didn't accomplish anything, but the truth is that I had accomplished so much. But in my case, like I have this huge dream that is really touching the lives of all the women in the world, so they can really learn their value and how deserving they are of an amazing love a great partner and happiness and fulfillment that I think that I can't stop, and but that's also my passion. So it's like make me feel young. At 60 I feel like 30. Body doesn't go along that well, but I keep going. So there were really moments when I felt that I was not going to be able to do it. And when I get in that place, of course, I got help. I asked for help. I reached out to other coaches, to friends, because I believe that we cannot make it alone. It's too hard to make it alone, and it's hard to see our shadows. So if you look at what you need to change, if you're still in this shadow place, or you're still in your subconscious telling you you're not enough, you're not going to make it, you're too old, you're too young, you don't have a degree, all the things, then you get stuck in and nothing happens and you get frozen. This is the state, you get frozen. So it's reaching out, and I feel that I will keep working on myself until the day I die. Even that moment, I will be learning something new about myself, because, there's always something else to look at.
So that's a really great point. And you talked about so many great things that we do. So first off, you talked about that noise in your head. And that's really important for everyone to hear, for other women to hear. All of us, no matter how high of a success level you get, we all start to hear that inner chatter. And you really got to have to develop some type of system or tools or a protocol when that noise gets too loud. Whether for you said you reached out to mentors and friends. You have to have somebody that reminds you of who you are and what you're up to, right?
Yes.
Like that's one of the things. And you've just got a really definitive purpose. Like I see you, like your why is really strong.
Yes.
Do you want to share with people like your why and how that's kept you going, like in those moments of that?
Yeah, it's like I feel that I have a mission, and it was given to me by my soul, my God. I I don't know if whoever believes in God or the universe, but I feel that it's coming from the inside, especially because I'm healing at the same time that I'm helping others to heal. That was my story. The first time that I shared with a group of women in a table that I was abused at 7, 2 or 3 said, "Oh, the same thing happened to me." So we started healing together by sharing that. And this was for me like an eye opened so big, and my heart and my soul was like on fire. I said, this is the way, sharing. And also now that I can share not just the dark side of my life, but the beautiful, shiny side where I'm right now, because I went through all that. That made me stronger, and it made me who I am today. And I love the woman I am today. So the message is like, you will feel discouraged. You will feel that there's not much you can do. We all feel these moments where we say, and it's not just about money, it's about everything. Money is just one element of the whole situation, right? And it's about, am I going to be strong enough? Who is going to pay attention to what I say? And who am I, right? And those moments are the moments where we really need to dig inside and keep bringing out the demons. I call them the demons, right? That are in your subconscious, telling you all these nasty things, right? And go in there and reflect and learn how to get stronger and keep going. Because I've seen so many stories, and I'm sure you've seen stories of women that are single mom with 3, 4 kids, and they have 3 shifts that they work just to send them to college or the university. Yes. And they do it. And whoa, this is like a miracle. And that's women. I believe that that's the power of a woman that has the power of give birth, raise this kid alone if it's necessary, and give it all.
So you mentioned that there are there were things, you had your inner conflict, like your inner chatter that was going on. Let's kind of take it outside. Like who that was like fundamental in your life, somebody that you would have counted on, that you really valued their opinion, and they were just not supportive. Do you have an instance in your life where you're just like,
Yeah,
see,
I
this
would
is
say,
the lack of recognition. See, right? Like I'm already, I can't even finish saying it out because I'm like, God, I've had so many of those. But if you could
yeah.
just share, just pick one or a couple of them that were just like a
Yeah, basically,
painful
I
way
can
that
tell.
they were
Yeah,
not supportive.
I was always very supported by my kids, by my parents. But this was, I could say, this judgmental look, like those eyes that are always judging you. And I felt it in my mom when I was a little kid, like it was never enough. And I know she loves me, and I already solved all my problems and my conflicts with my mom. I adore her, but she had that the way that she looked at you when you were doing something, like checking and thinking, okay, are you gonna do it right? And then of course I had a first husband that was like my mom in that case, right? And because that was my known area, my known zone. So I guess that was the view, that it was always like you gotta be some way, and the other way is not permitted. You gotta be a woman that's at home and taking care of the house and being perfect, and the guest and all that stuff. And I did it for so many years, and but I knew that my soul was asking me for more. And of course I was not supported. I was not I didn't have the yes, of course, let's do it, that I have today. And that was my way out, that, like I say before, it's all perfect, because when your soul is asking you for something else, you got to make a choice. And this goes to all the women out there. If you're not happy, if you're feeling unfulfilled, if you're feeling that your soul is asking you for more, is saying you're here for more, you have a mission, or you have a will, or you have a dream, go for it, because life is too long to be unhappy, right? If you're unhappy, life is like it never ends, and you deserve happiness. We all deserve happiness and fulfillment. And when we get married, or when we start life, or it's hard because we don't know so many things, right?
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's all a learning process you
Yes.
go through. And so what would you say then was your biggest moment of inspiration? And what did that look like?
um if I may share this moment, is I remembered I was driving back home that day, and that street was one way for each one, so there was nothing in the middle. And I'm driving, and I felt so unhappy and so sad, and like no light at the end of the tunnel, that there was a big truck coming the other way. And I remember thinking, what if I just turn the wheel? And that was the moment when I got home after that, that I say, I can't be feeling like that. This is it. I mean, I'm not seeing light at the end of the tunnel, but death cannot be my only way out of this. And that's when I say, okay, that's enough is enough. And I remember that night, that when I was sleeping, it was a rainy night, and I had a big house at that moment, and I heard the noise of the windows, and I could hear, my kids sleeping in their bedrooms, and even my dog was next to me, and me thinking about what could happen if I was not there anymore. And that broke me to my knees, like you say, it broke my heart, that I, having 4 kids at that moment, I could be thinking that and feeling that way. So that was the moment when I said, okay, that's it, enough is enough, I'm going to go for my life. And that's when I started this journey of asking for questions, asking the questions that I needed answers, so I could really shift my life. And I tried everything. I tried everything.
Well, good. That's wonderful. And we're so grateful you did to come, because all of that pulls you into where you are now, that your
Yes.
whole journey is what has you have the capabilities to do what you do now. So if you were to be able to have a conversation with your younger self, with all this amazing wisdom that you've got now, and all the fires that you had to walk through, what would you say to yourself?
Oh my God, I would tell her that she's beautiful, that she's perfect the way she is, Don't let others tell you what to do and how to do it or how to behave. Because if you're wild, it's okay. This wilderness that you have is so amazing, and it will help you to really achieve so many things. So trust yourself and be yourself. Above all, be yourself. Every single minute of your life, be yourself.
That's fantastic. All right. So now you have children and you've
Yeah.
probably had conversations with them. But for all the people that are out there and for all the little girls that may find this channel and for all of those that are needing to hear just some mentoring, what is it you would tell other women that are just now coming into, or that they're already there, or they're coming into it, or they're thinking about it? What would you like to tell them?
I will tell them keep going, even in the hardest moments when you feel that there's no way out. Like I share my special moment of I don't know what to do. Just keep going. Believe that there's gonna be light at the end of the tunnel. Just believe some other people's words. Like we all been here before, and reach out. Reach out. There's so many places where you can ask for help. People, organisms. There's so many places where you can reach out. You don't have to do this alone. You can do this alone. It will take you double the time, triple the time. Just reach out. Some people that are already done before what you want to do, and don't give up. And the best of this is you never, never, never settle. You go for everything you want. Reach to your heart and your soul and ask yourself, what do I really want? And if that goal or that dream is too big, good, go for it, because you can do it. I can guarantee you that you can do it. You have that power, you have that drive, you have that soul. You're a woman. There's no limit for you.
Ah, I forgot that you were talking to our audience. I felt like you were talking directly to me. So thank
I
you for
was
that.
talking to you too, of course, Sophia. I was talking to you.
Oh, I love that. So I would be remiss if I didn't have the Queen of Love on and not mention something that you could speak about love. So would you like to share something about love, and maybe even like a failure in love, and then like how is it that you can just like have something that's supposed to be meant forever, and then it goes, and then you can like recreate anew and give yourself permission to create
Yeah.
something even better.
Yes. Love is a subject that we should be learning at school, because it's not an easy subject. Love is easy, love is simple, love is beautiful, love is everything good. But we've been taught that love is hard, love is work, love is pain, love is abuse, love is all these nasty things. And the reality is that even when we hear songs about love, it's drama. So it's like when you're trying to grow up, you say, I don't want to grow up because grown-ups are so unhappy, right? The same thing happened with love. So when you think about love, it's all about getting inside of your heart and heal it, because our heart is broken. It's broken in pieces, not just because of bad relationships, maybe from your childhood, maybe from the story you tell yourself. So you need to heal that. That's first. Once you heal your heart, you will see the world in a different way. It's like this. I love this phrase from Wayne Dyer, where it says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at changes. So this is it. It's the view that you have to the world. It's how you see love. It's how you see the relationships. And that's really in your subconscious. It's like the truth. So if you don't have love, it's because your subconscious is telling you maybe you're unworthy, you're not good enough, maybe love is not for you or whatever. But that is not the truth. The truth is love. You were born to love and be loved. That's it. That's all we were born for. So you can shift that mindset. You can shift your reality. You can shift the people that you choose to be with you in your life. Friends, lovers, everything, because it's everything that you have inside of this subconscious that is telling you the wrong thing, and you gotta make it right. It's all about it's all up to you, but you can do it, because that was my process. I was really in a very bad place about love. That's what I chose, the people that I chose before, and I was unhappy, and I had toxic relationships. relationships. But once I understood that love is something different, and for that I gotta open my heart widely, it's like, and give it all to love. And that's when the magic happens. And that's what I'm living. And I've been living for 18 years. So it's not just, a new relationship. So you got this as long as you do the work on healing your heart and then finding the truth about who you truly are and what do you want. You can write your love story. Absolutely. Beyond your wildest dreams. That's the story that I teach my clients to write. My girls, I call them my girls because I love them all. It's like, let's write a new love story where you get everything you want, and settling is never an option. Never.
Ah, that's so perfect. I definitely think that that's going to be an anthem, right? Settling,
Yes.
not in our vocabulary.
Never. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything that you would like to share with the audience? Anything
Oh,
that you'd like to leave them with?
I think I've said enough. It's just, it's like the truth is that you can do whatever you want and you can have it all. Don't believe those lies when they say, oh, if you have love, you can have this. Yeah, no, you can have it all. You can have the best family, the best relationships, money, the best business. Go for it. Believe in yourself because you are worth it. You're amazing and you're a miracle. That's it. You are a miracle. You, Sophia, you're a miracle. So go for it because miracles, happen and you are one of them. Thank you, Sophia, for inviting me here.
My pleasure. Sylvia Chavez, America's Love Queen.